Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert.
And I'm Erica Botker, AccuQuilt's corporate marketing specialist. Today, we're taking everybody back to school. Back before remote learning.
Oh, right.
The internet, Wi-Fi, yes, before Wi-Fi, even before school buses and carpools.
That's right. Today is all about math books. Remember actual books in a classroom?
Yeah.
Paper and pencils and wooden desks and chairs. With all this reminiscing, let Erica and I introduce you to the new Schoolhouse pieced bob die.
That's right. So this is our newest block on board, or bob die as we like to call them. It's on a 10 by 24 die board.
Yep.
All the pieces you need to make a 9-inch finished block are right here on the die. So the Go Schoolhouse piece die will fit through your Go Big,
yep,
and even a Studio with the appropriate adapter. But you need to make sure you're using a 10 by 24 cutting mat, right, Pam?
Yes, you want to cut all the shapes, quilters.
That's right.
Now, we give this die an A+ for creativity, since it has, look at this, 6 different sizes of rectangles.
Yeah.
So think about the other projects you could create using this die.
That's right. You can make your blocks all the same color, like in the Go Schoolhouse Row Throw Quilt behind us. Or think outside of the box and use this die as the ultimate stash buster.
I could totally see it completely scrappy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Either way, you can use the Go Quilt program available at AccuQuilt.com. It's a free quilting tool that allows you to change the colorway of thousands of AccuQuilt patterns. There's a tutorial, so be sure to check it out.
All right, quilters, before you start your project, now Eric and I have this pro tip.
Yes.
We always recommend you cut and sew a test block.
Always.
That way you can see how all the pieces fit together and how to press your seams. All right, so Erica, should we look at this die and lay down our fabric and show them how to cut it?
Perfect. I'm going to put it up here so we can get a really good look at it.
So some cool things about this, you'll notice that the die is all screen printed.
Yes.
Which is great.
Yep.
We have those specialized dog ears and that 1/4-inch seam allowance built in.
It's going to come in so handy when we put this together.
It is. And it's kind of divided by sections. Okay,
right.
But this one is different than the other two. So you want to talk about this one?
Right. So for this block, you need both red and white for A and C.
Correct.
But just the
white.
Just the white. You're right.
Right.
For I.
Right.
So when we lay it out, we're going to lay it out so these A and C are covered with all of our colors.
Correct.
But I is just covered by the one.
Correct. Now
these are non-directional shapes,
right.
So you could fan fold on this section. These are directional shapes, so you have to be right side up.
Right.
That's our next tip on that one.
Right.
So for today's demonstration, although we could cut 6 layers of fabric, we're going to cut 2 to 3 layers on these, and we all know where we're going here. So we could fan fold here, but we can't fan fold here and here.
And we're using solid fabric, so... All right, so notice Erica's going to lay down first that.
So here's our A and C.
Right, over the, yep.
And then here's our I.
And to do this, we just added 1/4 inch on either side of the shape and just rough cut.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
Now, pay attention to shapes B and H and F and D. These are directional shapes. So you want to make sure that fabric is facing up. So it's our pretty red fabric here.
Right. There we go.
Excellent.
All right, and then shapes E, G, and J are these directional shapes in white. So once again, fabric facing up. Yeah. I again was white. We've got that down here. So
right. And notice, Erica, there's an E and an ER. So when we lay it on our block, here's E and ER.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
And
just
I'm off.
White. No, I think it's just white. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So we're going to put a 10 by 24 cutting mat on it.
Absolutely.
And again, like Erica said, you could use this in your Go. We're going to use our Go Big today. You could even use it in your Studio cutter with the appropriate adapter.
I am going to turn it on. It does work better that way.
It does work better that way.
All right, let me get this for us.
So Erica, think about how difficult it would be to cut these shapes by hand.
It would take a long time, and I think it would be confusing. I think one of the great things about the die is that we have screen printed those letters, so we can keep track of that.
Right.
So we'll get this in a minute, and we can put our block together.
Excellent.
Okay. So we're going to give this a little love for you, and I'll get this mat off so you can keep going.
Slide, don't lift, because boy, is it staticky here in the Dream Studio. Okay, so we're going to follow the pattern, and we're going to start by sewing. These are shape C. So you notice we cut a whole bunch of shape Cs.
We did, because we knew we were going to need them. So
Yep.
that off of there.
All right. So we also like to lay out our block before we start to cut it.
We do.
Right?
So this is going to be our little windows.
Right. Right. And so we're just going to sew those A's and C's together, or those C's together, right?
Okay, so this is this window.
Right.
And then this unit over here.
Right. We've already sewn together.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
So I'm actually going to put this one over here. This is such a cute little block.
It really is. It really is.
So notice I have some step outs already done. I've already sewed some of these.
Okay.
So it also now needs another white and a red. So I'm
Okay.
going to take a white and a red and I'm going to sew these.
Okay, perfect.
All right. And again, this is a great chain piecing. And Erica, I have a tendency on this particular one to press to the dark side. Sometimes we can press, you know, our
Sometimes
seams
we
open.
press them open. I think that is going to work for this one as well.
Yep.
And I know we did that. I know you did that with the sample block. It's what we like to do if we can.
Yeah.
So we've already sewn a couple of those. We're going to add that red and white onto the end then.
Right. So again, when I was making this block, I sewed all my shape C's together.
Right. I did too.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Give it a haircut.
Give it a little haircut.
So that's the window section. And then you put the red underneath and on top.
Yep. So I think we have our red sections right here.
So we took our red. We went ahead and did the red underneath and on top. Then we did the white on top.
Right.
So then this one went on top. Then once that was done, now we're the right size to put this white piece on
Right.
top.
Because when you try to lay this out before it's all sewn together in your quilting head, you're going to say, oh, this is not going to work.
Right. But until you put this piece on, the other white piece will not be the right size. But once you are, you can see it's exactly the right size. So this section then is going to be all finished.
Correct. All right. So now we're going to create our little window. Now this one, Erica, is going to use that big section right here. So you want to pull it
Okay.
right there.
So
that far
right
end. Yeah,
here.
let's just pull our little pieces
There
back.
we go. So this
Goes underneath.
will go underneath and on top.
And on top is actually shape D.
Okay, so let
at
me
that.
grab shape D over here.
And I really do want to show people how when you're sewing this together, see, you're going to lay out your block and they're going to think, oh, this is not going to work. But
Seam allowances.
seam allowances.
Seam allowances.
Pointers.
That's what's going to make it. So don't panic. Trust in the force and go with it.
Yes.
So this unit is going to go together just like we did here. It's just
Yep.
smaller, just
Yep.
the one window. And then it's got the top and the bottom. And then at that point, we're going to set this aside for the moment.
We are.
Okay.
Yep. And we're going to sew this window section here to the other, or the door section, I
So
guess.
we're going to sew at that point, those two go together. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to bowl this down because we're going to talk roof now.
Yeah, because I feel like these are really easy to do. I just really want to talk about the roof section.
Right. And the interesting thing about this roof section, and one thing that I really like about our design, a lot of times this actually has a Y seam in it.
Right.
So this piece involves a Y seam. We've constructed this so you don't have to sew that Y seam, and I think that's great.
Right. All right. So Erica, let's grab our little shape F right here.
All right.
Okay. Yep. Let's pull that
Let's
back.
pull this back.
And then you're going to need E for the left.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. And then this, you want to grab shape E, and this is shape G.
Okay.
Look at this. So I have one that I've already started to sew because here's what I want to show you. This is going to fit perfectly. Look at how those line up.
So that's the specialized dog ears. And
Yes.
again, it just makes it so much easier.
Right. So you're going to stitch from here to here.
Okay.
Right? That perfect
Okay.
1/4 inch seam. It's going to lay like this.
And then once it's pressed open, your dog ears are again going to fit now like we have this one.
Right. So let me
Perfectly.
stitch this
All
one and
right.
show you.
Stitch away.
Again, this is why
She
we
had
want
a
our
pin. Did you see that?
just for Erica. I
Just for
pinned.
me.
This is why you want it facing up because that's
Yes.
such a directional
Yes,
shape.
it is.
Okay. All right, here we go. I know I knew you'd be happy that I was pinning.
I'm so impressed. I'm so proud of you.
I'm not really a pinner, but when I hang with Erica.
I've never been so proud.
All right. So take out my little pin. All right. So now look at this, Erica. See how it's just going to lay perfectly.
Right. So we
just
put
like that
together right there. And again, once we're sewing these together, the seam allowance is out, then it starts to come together.
Right.
So the next piece then, you just continue to build across.
Right.
Okay. So then the next piece is going to be the roof piece, and that was H right here. So that would go here.
Perfect.
And then the end is where we've got our ER. It's on the right.
Right.
Otherwise known as Erica's right.
Oh, there we go. Forever I will remember that. So it's really important, quilters, that you keep the E and the ER in the correct order.
And that'll give you that section.
Right. And here's kind of our tip about it. Notice that it's squared on the edge.
Yes.
That's how you know you're
That's how
sewing.
you're going to know.
So let me sew this little piece right here together. Again, we have those specialized dog ears, so it's just going to sew together beautifully. And again, I would do all of my roof sections at one time, right? And just chain piece.
Just chain piece.
For days.
And then the last section that we do is going to be our chimney section.
Yes.
So the chimney section then, so now we're going to come down here to get our shape eyes.
Yes.
Those are going to be the two corners.
You were kind of worried about the shape eyes.
I was kind of worried about the shape eyes and where they went. Then we've got our chimneys, and those are going to be shaped C's. Those are those two shaped C's that you had left over, so don't panic about those.
Yeah, this is why you cut 6 layers, because it's going to cut all the pieces.
And then right there in the middle, we've got our background. And again, straight chain piecing, just do your 1/4 inch seam, you're good. Press it to the dark side.
Yes.
And we're ready to put our block together.
We are. And you're going to notice how these seams come together perfectly here, because I did press to the dark side.
And don't panic when you look at this. Okay, so this is important. You see this, and I know quilters, you're thinking, but it's not going to look right. But that's your 1/4 inch seam allowance right there.
Yeah.
So don't worry. This is going to be in your seam allowance. So you're going to get, again, a perfect point on either side.
All right, quilters, you would finish the block by sewing all of those rows together to make that perfect schoolhouse block. Now you need a total of 12 finished schoolhouse blocks to complete our super cute project.
Which is just adorable. And it's that classic two-tone look. I love it in the red and white.
Yes.
And with the binding just really makes it pop to me.
Though I would love to do it completely scrappy. I think it would look super cute.
I'd like to see scrappy too, yeah.
Yep. All right. Now continue to follow the pattern to complete the quilt top. Make sure you layer that batting between the quilt top and the backing. Erica's here, so she's going to pin or baste your layers together. Quilt is desired. Add that binding, and don't forget to miter your corners.
Now be sure to share your finished projects with us on AccuQuilt's Facebook page. We'd love to see what you've made.
Quilters, the Go Schoolhouse pieced die is easy as 1, 2, 3, and ABC. Because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.